Let's talk about artificial intelligence. Because, it's not some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's here, right now. And it's already creating a massive shockwave through our careers and the skills we all need to get ahead. Today, we're going to dig into what the numbers are actually telling us about this change and figure out how we can navigate what's coming. All right, let's get into it. This quote from the Stanford Digital Economy Lab, it just nails it, doesn't it? It's such a powerful way to put it. The canaries in the coal mine. It means the first effects of AI's big shift aren't theoretical. They're already happening to a specific group of people, and they're sending out a warning for the rest of us. And here is that warning in a single, stark number. This isn't a guess. This is what's already happened. Between late 2022 and the middle of 2024, there was a 6% drop in employment for young workers. We're talking 22 to 25-year-olds in jobs with the most AI exposure. But get this. Older workers in those exact same jobs actually saw their employment go up. So the disruption, it's not coming, it's here, and it's hitting the youngest people in the workforce first. So yeah, this is a real-time warning for the entire job market. This isn't about some distant future where robots take over. It's about understanding what's happening right now so we can actually adapt. It's so easy to just think of AI as a job killer, full stop, but the reality is way more nuanced. It really has this dual impact. On one hand, yes, for routine tasks that can be automated, we are seeing displacement. But on the other hand, for work that needs real human creativity and critical thinking, AI is becoming an incredible sidekick, a tool that actually boosts our own abilities. This means the impact is really uneven. Some jobs shrink, while others are totally transformed. And if the jobs themselves are changing so dramatically, well, that leads us right to the next big point. We have a new skills imperative. The career paths we thought were set in stone are shifting, and a massive skills gap is opening up right in front of us. Now, this whole skills gap couldn't come at a worse time, because it's happening when financial anxiety is through the roof. For 4 years running, the #1 concern for Gen Z and millennials is the cost of living. You've got nearly half of them saying they don't feel financially secure, and more than half are living paycheck to paycheck. That kind of pressure makes finding the right skills for a good-paying job feel absolutely critical. So what are younger workers really after? It pretty much comes down to this trifecta: money, meaning, and well-being. That's the foundation they're looking for, and it's why so many are willing to strategically job hop to find it. And for any company out there trying to hire, this is the formula. This is what you have to deliver to get and keep good people. But here's where things get stuck. There's this huge disconnect in the workplace that's getting in the way of skill building. Young employees are craving managers who are more like mentors, people who can give them guidance and support their careers. But what do they feel like they're getting instead? Micromanagement, just oversight of their day-to-day tasks. And that's a massive barrier when you're trying to learn and grow. Okay, so if the workplace isn't closing this skills gap on its own, we have to look at our education system, right? The old ways of doing things are being seriously questioned, and we have to start reimagining how we get people ready for this new world of work. And here's the issue. Nearly a third of Gen Z and millennials have just decided against going into higher education. And why is that? Well, the crazy high cost is a huge part of it, for sure, but there's also this growing feeling, this skepticism, that a traditional degree doesn't actually give you the practical, hands-on skills you need to land a good job. And this is where new ideas like micro-credentials come into play. It's a totally different approach. Instead of a 4-year marathon, you learn in these small, stackable chunks, focused on one specific in-demand skill. You prove you know it with a real-world project, you get a verifiable digital badge you can stick right on your resume, and you often get plugged directly into a network of employers. It's a faster, more flexible path to a career. And the technology we use for learning, it's also going through a mind-blowing transformation. We're moving way beyond just clicking through slides. We're heading towards truly interactive AI that can assist students, adapt lessons on the fly, and even hold conversations to help you understand a concept. It's a whole new world. But, and this is a big but, with all this amazing new power comes some very real risks. As we weave AI into our jobs and our schools, we absolutely have to build some guardrails to make sure it's being used safely and ethically. A huge piece of that is something called algorithmic transparency. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. We have to be able to look under the hood. If an AI is making life-altering decisions about who gets a loan or what medical treatment someone gets, we need to be able to see its logic and test it. You just can't have trust without transparency. The challenge, of course, is that tech, and especially AI, moves at lightning speed. And government regulation, well, it moves at the speed of government. It can take years to craft a new rule. And by then, the technology has already leaped light years ahead. That gap between innovation and oversight is a really dangerous place to be. So how do you fix that? One really smart solution is what's called a regulatory sandbox. Think of it like a safe, controlled playground where companies can test their new AI products with regulators watching and giving feedback in real time. It lets innovation move forward, but safely, and it helps build some much-needed trust. All of these guardrails, these sandboxes, they're all really pointing to one fundamental goal: keeping humans in the loop. Because no matter how smart this technology gets, we have to make sure that it's serving our values and that we're the ones in the driver's seat. And that brings us to what might be the single most important principle of all: human in the loop. This has to be our North Star. AI is a tool. It's there to assist human judgment, not replace it. The teacher, the doctor, the worker, they have to be the final decision maker, using AI to make them even better at what they do. Now this slide, this highlights one of the toughest ethical knots we have to untangle. To make an AI model for education that's actually fair and effective, you need a lot of detailed student data. But the more data you collect, the more you put that student's privacy at risk. Finding the right balance there is an incredibly difficult challenge. There's this fantastic quote from the statistician George Box that is just the perfect way to think about AI. All models are wrong, but some are useful. No AI is ever going to be a perfect copy of reality. They're all flawed and incomplete by nature. It's our job as humans to decide what we want these tools to do and to constantly be asking, is this useful or is it causing harm? At the end of the day, AI isn't some pre-written destiny that's just happening to us. It's a tool that we are actively building and shaping every single day. So the real question isn't, what is AI going to do to us? The real question is, what are we going to choose to do with it? That power and that responsibility is still very much in our hands.